Hello, everyone, and welcome to yet another episode of Podshots with Bhawna. Well, of course, where there is no fluff, but just direct conversations with the industry leader. Well, continuing with the trend of our discussions, we have yet another interesting topic today, and I'm sure it's a very close to heart topic and the function to most of us, which is HR. So today's topic is going to be HR as the growth engine for strategy, for sustainability, and for people management or people-centric. And I will be joined by esteemed HR leader who's actually giving a challenge to the entire approach of the way people have been thinking about or talking about or knowing HR as so far, which is beyond what they have been knowing HR so far, to give it a new perspective of sustainability, leadership, and a long-term value creation beyond just the mere checkboxes, but a business imperative. So allow me a moment till I bring her up onto the screen for all of us. Okay, guys, as I was mentioning to you a moment before that this topic and the function is something close to everyone's heart, and same is with me because most of the organizations do claim that they value, but not everyone actually does it. And what am I talking about? It's valuing the people. And that is what today we are going to have a deep conversation with an esteemed HR leader, a name and a face which is well known to the industry. I'm talking about none other but Anyuta Dhir, someone who's actually pioneering the entire or reframing the entire HR paradigm, because she is definitely including sustainability into the piece of HR, which somehow was getting missed so far. So I would say that she's the one who's at the intersection of HR, sustainability, and the value creation for the organization. She is bringing a very refreshing lens to the entire space of HR, because according to her, and which is so true, that HR is not really the policy and the process makers, but they are actually the foolproof organization growth engine. So welcome, Anyuta, and thank you so much for accepting my invite and being my guest on the show.
Thank you, Bhavna. It's an honor and a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having me.
Great. So Anita, just to give you a little brief about the format of the show. So it's a shorter version of the podcast, and that's the reason it's coined the name as Podshots. And we are going to have quick conversations to grasp your wisdom in 15 minutes, because the audience would really love to hear your insights about that. And towards the end, we'll have a very quirky, informal, playful, rapid-fire 1-minute show to know you a little more about that. So are you ready? Then we can start.
All set. All set.
Great. So let's quickly start with, there is so much of shift which is happening into the boardrooms, maybe for marketing, and so it's true for the HR as well. So what do you think, is the biggest mistake which organizations generally make when, they don't treat HR as the growth engine, just they treat it as, the support system?
Wow. So that's a wonderful question. What I feel, Bhavna, the biggest mistake is this, that they make HR reactive instead of strategic. All right. And when HR is seen as a support function, it's called after decisions are made. So basically, they're called to clean up the mess. So something like to fix attrition or manage fallout or enforce a policy. But when HR is treated as a growth engine, the tables turn. It shapes decisions before the damage happens. So we are more proactive, and we're supporting a people first culture. And a support HR manages people, whereas a growth driven HR designs systems, hiring, performance, rewards, and that scale capability, trust, and outcomes. So organizations that miss this end up, somewhere around growing revenue faster, all right, than culture. But then culture always collects the bill later. So one way or the other, it's always coming back.
Absolutely. I just love that statement. So true as well. So now, since I was mentioning during your intro that you are the one who has been advocating and in fact to a lot of extent even pioneering sustainability in HR. So if you had to actually explain this sustainability in HR to a CEO under a minute, how do you think you would handle or manage that?
Well, I'd say this that sustainable HR is not about being nice or green. So it's about building people systems that perform today without breaking the tomorrow, right?
Oh,
So it ensures you attract the right talent, you retain critical capability, reduce leadership and attrition risks, and align people decisions with long term business and ESG goals. So, in very simple terms, sustainable HR protects your growth, your reputation, and your future workforce. So it's not an HR initiative from any angle. It's definitely a business continuity strategy that brings and makes your business resilient against all odds.
That's wonderful perspective. So continuing to that, how according to you, HR can drive this sustainability and ESG outcomes, especially in the organizations who don't even practice this to the core.
Bhavna, many organizations would be surprised to know that they're already doing ESG. It's just that they don't call it that.
Mm-hmm.
And HR drives ESG when it hires very fairly, pays equitably, builds safe and inclusive workplaces, develops future skills, and governs the behavior consistently. So, the way I say it's a people first culture. So, you don't need ESG jargon as such. You need everyday people decisions done responsibly. And that's how HR quietly embeds sustainability, not through reports, but through regular day to day routine.
Absolutely. I think that is the kind of change, which is the mindset change, which is definitely required at the core level in every organization. So now coming to the next, since you have been talking openly and accepting the fact that many times HR is considered as the cost center and not really the sustainability profit center. So how does this shift look like in actual real business scenario from the experiences what you go and speak with the C-suite leaders or your clients or from the organizations where you have come from?
It actually means that HR stops being measured as an expense and starts being measured by the impact it brings on the table.
Hmm.
So when I say a sustainability profit center HR, it reduces avoidable attrition. So you're foreseeing things, you're not reactive. Then it
True.
improves productivity through clarity and capability. So you want to bring up the purpose factor in your workspace. And then it lowers the compliance and reputational risk. It builds leadership pipelines instead of replacement costs. So we want to make sure that our workforce itself grows in capability and skills, right? And the profit isn't just financial. The way I said, it's resilience,
Absolutely.
continuity, and trust. Okay, and when HR does this well, it doesn't just support growth, it makes the growth sustainable.
Oh wow! I think that's I think probably a piece which every HR would love to hear and take away from this conversation. So the last one in the core grid. See, especially we are in the month of January, so we are approaching that performance cycle. So this is a very relevant question for the time as well. So what do you think? Organizations unintentionally they harm the people in the name of the performance management. I know it may be a tough one, but would really love to hear your views.
No, this is not a tough one. This is something that's a pain point for every HR professional. It happens when performance is measured without humanity. Okay, and we forget, and that's why I call this being humanely resourceful. So that's my mission, that's my own tagline, and I stand very close to it. So, let me just give you a few examples like rewarding long hours instead of smart outcomes,
Mm-hmm.
and then promoting toxic high performers. right? Then ignoring the burnout because numbers look good. We are getting driven by the number game right now. Then confusing pressure with productivity.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's another, place. And the damage is very silent, but disengagement, health issues, quiet quitting takes over so fast that you don't even know when it seeped in. It's like water seeping in from your walls till the paint swells up. You don't know that it's actually there. So high performers without well-being is definitely not excellence, and it's erosion, and it eventually shows up in attrition, errors, and major leadership and boardroom failures.
I think the employee section who are going to hear this, they are definitely going to resonate so much as if you're speaking their heart. So,
Yes.
so to have HR leader, first of all, acknowledge these kind of pain areas itself, I mean, I would really want to appreciate the way, you are very boldly and upfrontly bringing this out. So that really talks and speaks a lot about the kind of HR fraternity you are, cheering about. So this brings us to the end of the core grade. I'm sure, although I had a list of many more questions, but to keep the frame of the concept in mind. So now let's just have a minute of a rapid fire question to know you a little more informally. So if you're ready,
Sure.
I'll just put the timer on.
All
Okay.
set.
Okay. So one policy people follow only when HR is watching.
That's a good one. Say code of conduct.
Okay. Okay. So your go-to reset after a draining leadership conversation. What do you do?
I would go for a workout or a, unwinding run. I'm a runner, so fitness is my fad. Yeah.
Okay, great. What's more exhausting, bad managers or unclear strategy?
Unclear strategies are very, very damaging.
Okay, great. So for you, is it a late night thinking or early morning clarity?
I'm an early morning person. I wake up at 4 o'clock every day.
Oh, wow. That's great. Okay, the last one. I'm sure this will be a bit tricky. Employment engagement survey. Is it a truth or a polite fiction?
It is all a boardroom game. If the boardroom and the leadership genuinely wants to know the vibes and the nerves of people, it is a genuine game. And if not, then it's all rigged.
Great. I love your openness and candid approach. So it's wonderful, conversing with you. So thank you so much once again, and I really wish you all the luck. And I'm sure that the kind of flag which you are holding for the sustainable HR leadership. I really wish that you carry it and scale it far ahead. So thanks once
Thank you
again
so
for
much.
coming up onto the show.
Thank you so much. Thanks once again for having me. It's been an honor and a pleasure. Wishing you the best as well. Thank you.
Okay, bye bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, what a refreshing and candid conversation it was with an HR leader. I'm sure that, she really spoke from her heart, and this was something which, we really would want because it really resonates with pulse of every person who works in the corporate world. And the way Anyuta is, driving the sustainability in HR leadership, I'm sure that's something which is a business imperative and not just a checkbox in the entire checklist. So this is a wrap for today's great conversation with an esteemed HR leader. So I think there's lots to take away for not only for the general people who are going to listen and watch to her, but whereas even for the HR fraternity, there were lots and lots of takeaways from this conversation. So till we meet next time, stay tuned, stay curious, and take very good care of yourself and your loved ones. See you next time. Till then, signing off. Bye bye.